So who wants to see our club be distinguished in 2016 or 17? How about select distinguished? Be there? What about presidential distinguished? If that happens, what will that do for us? Who wants to become a better communicator, a better leader, and more successful in every parts of their lives? That is the challenge for 2016, 2017. When I went to the district training for being an area director, they set down some short-term goals for each club. One was to get your club officer names in on time today, and it's done. To have some of your officers trained, 4 of them, and I believe some of us have already been trained. The other one is to get your written plan in by the end of July. Written plan. We do plans. So I said, what is this plan exactly? So I did some Google searches for plans, and I found this list, this sheet that simply said, oh, so-and-so is going to get their CC, so-and-so is going to get their CL, this person is going to get their Advanced Communicator Bronze. And I thought, oh, that's kind of a helpful little sheet. Kind of sit down, but then I got thinking, well, who's in charge of the sheet? Who's going to talk to the people about what should be on their sheet? How's it all going to work? And I thought there must be more to this idea of planning than filling out a sheet of paper. So what do? I decided to read the manual, because that's what engineers do. And I found a section that laid out in the manual what this plan should be made of. The first thing they said is the officers should get to know each other, figure out their communication strategies, figure out how to get along with each other, because isn't that the most important foundation? Your leaders need to know how to get along and how to communicate and work together. So once you work through that, the next one is you need to come up with a vision. What is the vision for the club? I've already laid out, given you a couple ideas. Maybe it could become distinguished. And the vision needs to be something that you can obtain and accomplish. Because if a vision is way out there, how are you ever going to get that done? So once you have your vision defined, and it's something that's inspiring and everyone can get around, then you can start breaking it down to pieces. For instance, if you want to be presidential distinguished, there's 10 things you have to accomplish. Some of the most obvious things is getting your officer list in on time. That's a goal, and we've done it. The next one is get a plan done. That actually helps the district. That would be a great thing to work on. Some of the things is you get 1 point for 2 CCs. You get an extra point for an additional CC. You get points for Advanced Communicator Awards. And what are these awards really about? As you know, when you finish your CC, they call it a competent communicator, because the belief is once you do these 10 assignments, you should be able to give a speech and be confident in it. And then once you've accomplished that, that's just the beginning. You can work on being an advanced speaker. You can work on being an entertaining speaker. The idea of these goals is to help people become better communicators and leaders. It's all about education. And the other thing is, being the area director, it's about education as well. My role now is to help communicate things that are happening in the district down to the club and give guidance and support to the club. So once you have your vision defined and your goals and you have a feeling of what you want to accomplish, you can then begin to break it down to tasks. For instance, to be distinguished, you need to have a net gain of 4 new members, or 20. And it seems like we are too short. At the beginning of the year, we have a whole year to work on those 4 new members. How might you accomplish that? You have a VP of membership that's in charge of membership. But really, in a way, the VP of membership is like a mini president, because they can have a committee. There's 3 different award contests during the year for membership. One's called the Smedley Award. And they're kind of positioned right before major events. I was talking to a friend of mine at the TLI, and she was saying in their club they have these contests, and what she likes about them is that you get freebies if you accomplish them. Wouldn't it be kind of fun to work with our VP of membership to come up with some contest to bring in new members? Wouldn't that be exciting? And then that gives the VP of membership a great opportunity to develop her skills as a leader in being in charge of membership. I first thought that position was simply about, oh, you want to become a member. Do you have the form? Oh, put it in the basket and I'll take care of it. It's a lot more than just that position. So once you have the plan and the vision, you can then begin planning out. How do you come up with a plan? Usually you have to sit down together and talk about it. And I was thinking back, what organizations have I been a part of that have done planning? Recently, I'm the president of the Pride organization. We sat down 4 hours in January. We planned out the whole year. And then we figured out who's going to be in charge of what. And we've just been working through our plan. We had a Pride parade to do. Someone was in charge of that. We put on a photo exhibit down in Building 4, which is currently active. It's been very great. Jay's been in charge of that. We plan to do perhaps a project later in the year. So what we did, which is actually in the manual I read, is that you meet and come up with your plan. You decide who's going to be in charge of different elements, and then you review your plan once a month. I'm not certain people have time to take a block of time out next month to do that, but one thing that could be done is you could perhaps meet at lunch to work through your plan as to what you want to accomplish. Come up with that great vision, where do we want to be? How do we get there? What exciting, fun things can we do, and how much are we going to learn, and how's that going to impact the lives of the people in our club and make them more successful? Isn't that exciting to have a plan, know where you're going, so you don't get to June and say, gee, we need 2 new members. How are we going to get those? I found myself as a person, I tend to want to fix things, and I tend to want to take responsibility for things. And getting the 4 members might be pretty easy if at the beginning of the year you plan how you're going to do it. And you monitor your progress, because if you pick up 4 new members by December, you're well on your way to being distinguished.